Welcome back to Mind Vibes, the gym for your personal growth. We are proud of you that you're trying to become the best version of yourself by watching our videos. With us, you will be more motivated, more proud of yourself, and you will be hungrier to achieve your goals. Stay with us and let's start with the video of today. Mind Vibes. How many times towards the end of December have you found yourself making a list of goals for the new year while talking with friends, relatives, or even just between you and you? How many of these goals were you then able to actually put into practice? If the answer to the first question is many times, and the answer to the second is few goals, continue watching the video. Today, we suggest 15 good resolutions for the new year. Of course, you don't have to put all 15 of them into practice. Choose no more than 3. One of the main reasons why few people manage to achieve their goals is that there are too many goals in mind. Instead, if you focus on up to 3 good resolutions, you'll have more time to work on them without stress throwing you off track. Before you start with these tips, don't forget to subscribe to our channel and smash that like button. 1. Use your smartphone less. During the various lockdowns, being connected has allowed us to stay in touch with loved ones that we have not been able to meet. We've all been there, from video calls with distant parents to video aperitives with friends. However, when most of our free time is dedicated mainly to staring at the smartphone screen, zapping on YouTube, replying to the messages of the thousands of WhatsApp groups we belong to, replying to non-urgent emails and so on, our level of energy plummets and the body suffers. Here, we do not advise you to eliminate the smartphone from your life altogether. Instead, we suggest that you use it in moderation, only when necessary. For example, ask yourself, do you have to check Instagram 30 times a day to see what your friends are up to? Do you have to be part of 20 groups on WhatsApp without muting even one? Do you have to reply to emails and messages as soon as they arrive, or can some of them wait? Sometimes, it's important to say enough. Turn off the phone, pick up that book you've been meaning to read for a while, and unplug it for a few hours. You will see that after a few days, you will feel more relaxed and in tune with yourself. 2. Learn not to care. Learning to not give a shit is often one of the secret weapons of happy, long-living people. Not caring does not mean facing life with superficiality. On the contrary, it means giving importance to the things and people that really interest you, and not giving weight to what doesn't contribute to your happiness. Now sit down at a table and take a pen and paper. Make a good list of everything you used to do that doesn't make you happy. Here are some examples. Spending money and energy to give Christmas gifts to distant relatives or colleagues that, deep down, you don't care that much about. Letting the opinion of people you don't care about influence your choices. Attend events or birthday parties of people who don't particularly interest you. Be extremely fair to people who, in the end, don't deserve it. Continue to date people with children when you are single and you don't even like children. Read books and newspapers just because you want others to think you're an educated person. It's difficult, if not impossible, to eliminate all the things from your life that make you unhappy or that you just don't give a damn about. The trick is to find the right balance. You yourself will know better than we do what can be eliminated from your life without you losing your face or without guilt feelings haunting you. Once you have done some cleaning in your agenda, you will be pleasantly surprised by the time and money you will have saved, and that you will finally be able to dedicate to yourself and to what really matters to you. 3. Eliminate what you don't need. This point is complementary to the previous one. It's about eliminating from your life all those objects that you no longer need them. They no longer represent you. You don't like them anymore. They don't make you happier. You forgot you had. Start from the laundry drawer, with the socks with holes and the underwear you haven't worn in years, but which continue to take up space. How many socks and underpants do you wear on a regular basis? Be honest. Keep what you really need and discard everything else. From the linen drawer, it passes to the other drawers of the wardrobe. From the bookcase in your bedroom to that of the living room. From the kitchen to the dreaded garage. This operation, if done properly, will take you several days. Once you're done though, you'll feel as satisfied as ever, and you'll feel like you've regained that mental clarity that you thought was gone forever. Go, go, go! Throw it all away. And if you don't feel like throwing away objects or clothes that are still in good condition, give them to someone who needs them more than you, or sell them on eBay. 4. Sleep more. How many times during a day when you should have been 100% productive and focused have you thought, If only I'd gotten to bed an hour earlier, I wouldn't be so tired. An hour, or even just half an hour of extra sleep can change your whole day for the better. If you are one of those who likes to stay on the phone or computer until the last second before turning off the light, know that the light from the screen induces the brain to think that it is still day outside, when in reality it is not. This way, it will take you much longer to fall asleep. The ideal would be to turn off phones and computers an hour before going to bed. Have a nice herbal tea and read a few pages of that book that has been on the nightstand for months. 5. Learn a new language. Thanks to specialized websites, apps, platforms that allow you to talk remotely with people from other countries, videos on YouTube, podcasts, and many other tools, learning a foreign language is an achievable goal if you have the will and discipline. Learning a new language has many benefits, including travel to the country where the language you are learning is spoken without having the anxiety that people do not understand what you are saying, or that they do not understand what people are saying to you. If you are a lover of reading, you can read your favorite books in their original language. You can do the same with movies and TV series. You can communicate with people from other cultures and learn new things from them. 6. Finish a project you started last year. Who says New Year's resolutions have to be based on brand new goals? Carrying out a project that started last year is close to your heart, or with which you have already achieved good results, can give just as much satisfaction. Continuing an already set project is less challenging than starting one from scratch. The important thing is to set clear goals to move to a higher level. For example, move from level B2 of a foreign language to level C1. Knit clothes if you learned to knit the previous year. Participate in sports competitions after training diligently the year before. Increase traffic to your website. 7. Unleash your creative side. If you think you are not a creative person, you are wrong. Each of us has a good dose of creativity. The problem is that we don't realize it because we don't give it enough space. Carve out an hour or two a week to dedicate yourself to that activity that you may have abandoned when you were a child. Here are some examples of creative activities. Draw and make collages, singing, playing an instrument, dancing. Do it yourself. You can carry out these activities at home without problems, in a corner that you can use exclusively for this purpose. For instance, the study, the closet, the cellar, the garage. If or when you think about drawing or any other creative activity, a little voice inside you says, "What are you doing? You're not good at drawing." Ignore it and get to work. It's your mind who wants to sabotage. The purpose of these activities will not be to produce works of art, to become a professional dancer, or to sing in front of an audience. It will be to bring your mind back to the present moment, setting aside those thoughts related to the past and the future that normally don't give you a break. After a creative session, you will feel lighter and more satisfied. Seeing is believing. 8. Stop procrastinating. So many books have been written about how to stop procrastinating that it would make no sense to talk about them in detail here. We therefore give you only 2 tips in this regard. Pay attention to the 2-minute rule. This rule says that if a certain activity takes up less than or up to 2 minutes of time, do it now. Book in advance. It's about dedicating 2 or 3 hours at the beginning of the year to book everything you would like or should do for some time. For example, that medical visit, that trip that would make you so happy, that Pilates course that would be so good for your back, etc., etc. Book everything that comes to mind in the same day. Medical checkups, travel, concert tickets, courses, and so on. It doesn't matter if these appointments take place months apart. Just the thought that later you will do what you wanted or should have done for a long time will make you feel better. Plus, when it comes to travel, booking early will also save you money. 9. Take 10,000 steps a day. The programs to keep fit that are made at the beginning of the year are unrealistic. I will go to the gym 3 days a week. I will go for a run before work. I will do gymnastics at home every day. I will go. I will sign up, etc., etc. It is true that the 10,000 steps we advise you to take should be done every day, but it is also true that they represent a realistic goal, which you sometimes reach without even realizing it. To keep track of your daily steps, you can use a pedometer watch or a downloadable app on your phone. Don't see these 10,000 steps solely as a way to lose weight. See them as an opportunity to carve out some space for yourself, to get some fresh air, to stretch your legs, especially if you do a job that requires a lot of sitting, or to walk the dog. Often, The best ideas come when our brain is put on pause, so to speak. Who knows? Maybe after a nice walk, you might come up with the business idea of the century. 10. Read more. Read more. Do not play the intellectual part when you're around other people. Do it for yourself to gain a different perspective on life. Read everything. Novels, essay, comics, business books, textbooks, children's books, books in their original language, newspapers, blogs, and why not, even dictionaries and dusty old encyclopedias. You'll be surprised by the amount of new things you'll learn and how your mind will open to topics that maybe you hadn't even considered before that moment. If, on the other hand, you already enjoy reading and want to keep track of all the books you finished during the year, you can use Goodreads. It is a platform where you can read plots and book reviews, recommend books to friends, follow writers that interest you, and even set a reading challenge. That is, the number of books you want to read during the year. Once you set that number, Goodreads will remind you how many books you are missing from reaching your goal. 11. Recontact old friends. Grab a pen and paper and write a list of all those old friends you haven't heard from in 6 months or more. What are they ever going to do? Where will they be right now? And how will they feel? The only way to know is by letting them hear from you. You can do it in various ways. A simple phone call, a message, an email, a postcard, or why not, a letter like in the old days. In our opinion, a handwritten note, postcard, or letter has more value than a hasty message on WhatsApp in which you just ask, "How are you?" Friendships, the real ones, must be taken care of and made to grow over time. Don't let the new year take them away from you. 12. Do something you thought you'd never do. Make a list of those things you've always wanted to do and never had the courage or the time to do. Choose one and set in motion to make it happen. For example, if you have been thinking for a long time that once in your life you'd like to go skydiving, the advice we give you is to involve friends who participate in this experience with you and book a jump today. Don't think too much about it. The chances of you crashing to the ground are very small. Indeed, you will hit the ground full of enthusiasm and proud of yourself for having made one of your dreams come true. Skydiving is an extreme example. Needless to say, you don't have to jump out of a plane to make one of your dreams come true. 13. Stop criticizing yourself. Stop constantly criticizing yourself for things you did and could have done differently, or for things you could have done and never did. To err is human, and it is the only way to understand how to deal with similar situations in the future. Some things happen out of your control, so often criticizing yourself isn't only unproductive, it doesn't make any sense. If you've ever asked yourself questions like, "Why couldn't I be with my boyfriend instead of leaving him? Why did I react like that when I could have kept silent? Why didn't I get a promotion at work despite working hard?" Think that if you acted in a certain way, it must have been because at that moment, that was the most appropriate way for you to behave. Or because at that moment, perhaps unconsciously, you weren't ready to take that step forward, such as getting a promotion. You will never know. All you have to do is accept the facts as they are, respect yourself for who you are, and go on your own way trying not to make the same mistakes. 14. Don't always take everything seriously. Think of the useless expenditure of energy you waste every time you get angry about something that, deep down, doesn't really matter. Think about how you could use these energies to do something more constructive, such as trying to find a solution to the problem with the person in front of you, or putting the problem aside altogether, because after all, it's a real problem it's not about. Whenever you feel blood rushing to your brain, ask yourself, does what just happened permanently and negatively affect the things and people dear to me? Harm my health? Does it harm my profession, my freedom, my values? If the answer to these questions is no, then it's probably not worth taking that question too seriously. 15. Complain less. In our opinion, complaints can cause two types of reactions. Further complaints from people around you who feel obliged to support you morally. A distancing from those around you. Think about it. Do you feel like being next to someone who complains all the time when you're in a good mood? Unless you are a masochist, the answer will be no. Once, we played a game between colleagues. After realizing that we were constantly complaining about the bad weather, the little things that didn't suit us, and many other things of little importance, we decided it was time to give it a break. For a whole week, we would be gone and complain about nothing. Anyone who messed up would get a slap from either of us. Seriously. The first 2 days were difficult, and we got hit hard. Between laughter and flushed cheeks, after a week, we understood one thing. Not complaining had made us more playful and in a good mood. Now, we invite you to do the same. With or without slaps, the important thing is to stop complaining. Let me know in the comments if you liked the video and what habits you will start applying. The Mind Vibes team wishes you a happy new year. May it be the beginning of your successes. See you in the next video.